And we are live. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. And welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk on a Saturday night. Haven't done this before, but we had some family things we had to take care of for the last couple of for tonight and next Friday night. So now it's Saturday night. Yes, and Brian's in here. You're absolutely right, Brian. Saturday Night Tech Talk. It's still called Friday Night Tech Talk, though. Can't expect somebody at my age to keep up with two different nights. So glad you're here, of course, sir. You're the first one in. And if you're new here, mostly every Friday night, usually this is on Friday night, we do this at 8 p.m. Eastern. This week and next week, it's Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, but it'll still be called Friday Night Tech Talk. And I picked some articles that I think might be interesting to other tech heads like myself. And I try to find articles that you probably haven't seen everywhere all over the place and that you might learn something from, and we learn together. So if you're new here, please type something in the comments. Let us know where you're from. And as we go along in the show, feel free to keep engaging in the comments, and we'll keep a conversation going that way. And Brian is one of the most faithful that ever was, that ever will be. So, and he helps educate me very often. So, if Ted comes in, I'll let you know. Most of you know Ted's out in Dallas, so it's 8 p.m. Saturday night for him. And here's Elner right behind Brian, two of the most faithful right off the bat. I'm glad you're here as always. Like I said, I will let you know if Ted comes in, and there's Brian being his faithful sub as he always is. Thank you so much, Brian. Always very, very much appreciated. And you know the cause it's going to. So, yeah, this year the cause it's going to will be the Titan 2 Elite when that comes out, hopefully next month, or at least it should be announced at MWC. And then the other one that'll be going to, of course, will be the Clicks Communicator. So it all helps. Okay, so if Ted comes in, I will let you know. I probably should do a quick check. He did acknowledge yesterday that it would be tonight, so I know he's aware of it. But I didn't go look in our Telegram group to see if he had left me a message. No, I don't think he has. Nope. So I know Mike knows about it, and I know Ted knows about it. I'm pretty sure Will knows about it too. So if any of them show up, I will certainly let you know. As far as I'm aware, there was no huge events this week. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I just picked out 6 articles that I thought were interesting. So as I tell you every week, if you click on the QR code, that'll take you straight to the show notes for this week's show on my website. So while we're talking about it, let's go to my website, and I'll show you that. So we share a screen here. So if you go to mobilegeezer.wordpress.com and just click on today's date, you'll get just the show notes for tonight's show. So while we're here, I always give you guys a little preview. So I wrote, bet you haven't seen this on the Jetsons, Rent a Human AI. I found this article on futurism.com. Just thought it was a very interesting article considering the times we live in. It's like living in the future. And then I followed that up with, I told you a few months ago, IKEA had some smart home products that they'd come out with this year. Well, they're getting more of them. So we've got an article on Tech Radar. We'll take a look at that. And then, for those of us who are excited about Nothing Phone, excitement for Nothing fans, the Nothing 4A series coming in early March, and that's on Phone Arena. And to prove to you I'm excited as a Nothing fan, you can see my main phone for today was the Nothing 3A Pro. So, of course, the 4A excites me. So we'll find out when that's coming out, which is not too far away. After that, iOS 26.2.1 causing lots of issues. Hold off on updating. Unless, of course, you've already had the update, which I already do. I guess I updated mine 2 days before this article came out. But hopefully I haven't had any of the issues as yet. So we'll take a look at that. That was on Tom's Guide. And then, of course, we keep talking about the iPhone Fold, which we're all expecting this year. I just said, curious about the iPhone Fold? Here's some more rumors. Found that on Tom's Guide. And lastly, we showed you last month, in December, I believe, AirDrop on Android. So we know we could drop from Pixel phones to iPhones and do, basically an AirDrop. And back then they said they weren't sure when it was ever going to come to other Android devices. Well, Google's QuickShare AirDrop moving from Pixels to other Android devices soon. Found that on Android Authority. So those are the interesting stories, and nothing else new in the comments. So let's go up and start out. So, bet you haven't seen this on the Jetsons. Rent a Human AI. As I said, on futurism.com. New site lets AI rent human bodies. Robots need your body. And this was published on the 4th, written by Joe Wilkins. I love that picture they used with the marionette, well, with the human as a marionette. So let's drop it into reader view, get rid of these ads. The machines aren't just coming for your jobs, now they want your bodies as well. That's at least the hope of Alexander Lightplow, a software engineer and founder of Rent a Human AI, a platform for AI agents to search, book, and pay humans for physical world tasks. In other words, when they need help from humans, they'll rent you. When Lightplow launched Rent a Human on Monday, he boasted that he already had over 130 people listed on the platform, including an OnlyFans model and the CEO of an AI startup, a claim which couldn't be verified. 2 days later, so I guess on Wednesday, the site boasted over 73,000 rentable meatwads. I loved calling us rentable meatwads. Though only 83 profiles were visible to us on its Browse Humans tab, Lightflow included. The pitch is simple. Robots need your body. For humans, it's as simple as making a profile, advertising skills and location, and setting an hourly rate. Then AI agents, autonomous task bots, ostensibly employed by humans, contract these humans out depending on the task they need to get done. The humans then do the thing, taking instructions from the AI bot and submitting proof of completion. The humans are then paid through crypto, namely stablecoins or other methods, per the website. With so many AI agents slithering around the web these days, those tasks could be just about anything from package pickups and shopping to product testing and event attendance. Lightflow is banking on there being enough demand from AI agents to create a robust gig work ecosystem. I have a suspicion he's going to be successful with this, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Lightflow also went out of his way to make the site friendly for AI agents. The site very prominently encourages users of AI agents to hook into Rent a Human's model context protocol server, a universal interface for AI bots to interact with web data. So I guess if you've made a bot, you can contact him with what you need a human to do for you, and he'll work out a deal where you'll pay that human to do what your bot wants it to do. So it sounds pretty straightforward. Through Rent a Human, AI agents like Claude and Moltbot, I never heard of Moltbot, can either hire the right human directly or post a task bounty, a sort of job board for humans to browse AI generated gigs. So I guess you can go look at, pick and choose what kind of gig you want. The payouts range from $1 for simple tasks like subscribe to my human on Twitter to $100 for more elaborate it says for more elaborate humiliation rituals, like posting a photo of yourself holding a sign reading, "An AI paid me to hold this sign." I wonder if somebody's gotten paid to do that already. It's unclear how efficient the marketplace is at actually connecting agents to humans. Despite receiving 30 applications, one task, pick up a package from downtown USPS in San Francisco for $40, has yet to be fulfilled after 2 days. Yeah, you would think something that simple would have been fulfilled right away, but it's a new company. It's also debatable whether AI agents are actually capable of putting the humans to good use. Still, Lightflow's version is clear. Lightflow's vision is clear. Someday soon, anyone wealthy enough to run an AI agent for $25 a day could outsource their busy work to gig workers without ever exchanging a word. A version of this exploitative labor model is already rampant on OnlyFans, which may be why at least one model has made the jump to Lightflow's platform and is now threatening to creep into everything else. Like many AI grifters these days, Lightflow shields himself in ironic self-awareness. When one person called Rent a Human a good idea but dystopic as F, the founder replied simply, LMAO. Yup. So, shows you we are living in the future. But I have a suspicion he might be pretty successful with this. I could be wrong. I just thought that was a good, interesting article to start out with. So, you want to volunteer to be paid to have an AI agent tell you what to do? Feel free. I guess you can contact Rent a Human AI. So next up, IKEA. This is kind of an update on the story we brought you last month with some of the new gadgets that IKEA had made intelligent. Well, now they have more. IKEA gets smarter while keeping it affordable. This is on Tech Radar, and we're talking very affordable, which is great. Come on, there you go. We're still a home furnishing company. It's just that adding smart functionality can give our products superpowers. IKEA exec shares the brand's big smart home plans. Written by Ruth Hamilton, again on February 4th. Get ready for more affordable, user-friendly smart home IKEA gadgets. So let's go into reader view. And like I said, all of these are very, very affordable. And here's Ted enjoying the Saturday show for the one time. Well, 2 times, because next week we're going to do the same thing. But if you happen to get home, I hope you come in. Okay, back to IKEA. All right, we're in reader view. At the start of this year, IKEA unveiled an affordable new smart home gadget range comprising various sensors, remote controls, and light bulbs, and I showed you that article, all Matter compatible. At the same time, we saw smart home features added to iconic product lines such as the Blix donut lamp, which is pretty cool looking. I got a sneak peek preview of the new range at CES in January, and afterwards, I caught up with David Granath, range manager for lighting and home electronics at IKEA, to find out more about the brand's longer-term smart home plans. The short version is it looks like smart functionality will become more common at IKEA. This launch of sensors, bulbs, and remote is the foundation of rebuilding our smart home range, and we will continue to expand into new areas, he says. And here they got a whole bunch, well, some of the new products now. These are all smart products now. The rebooted Matter-compatible smart home range comprises 21 new gadgets, almost all of which are under $10. That's awesome. There's a remote control range, motion sensors for doors and windows, water leaks, humidity and temperature, air quality, plus a smart plug, which you can see that in the picture. Yeah, right there. Okay. And various smart bulbs. Some are already available to buy, and others will become available from April. Those are all standalone smart products, but smart features are also making their way into existing products, although never just for the sake of it. David calls out the new smart Blix donut lamp as being a great example of the brand's approach, saying it'll only be used in the places where it genuinely improves a product. And they don't have a picture of the donut lamp here, but I did show you that in the other article, and it just looks like a lit up donut. I think it's kind of cool looking. But I think the prices are the big thing here. Yeah, Brian says, good for small gifts. Exactly, because of the prices. You can't beat them. So, don't expect IKEA to be turning its back on its home decor roots either. It's approaching smart functionality as an extension possibility rather than a new category. That's smart. In the long term, we don't really see smart products as a segment at all, reveals David. We're still a home furnishing company. It's just that adding smart functionality has now become affordable enough so that we can give our products superpowers. Long term, we think that we have the opportunity to improve life at home quite a bit. Simple, affordable, relevant. Some of the new sensors were previously available in older ranges, but an all-important upgrade here is that the new versions are Matter compatible, so it should be easy to hook up. Working with the Universal Matter standard was essential to IKEA's smart home vision. It removes one of the biggest barriers to getting started with a smart home. That's right, because everything Matter connected. It's supposed to be easy to set up. Matter compatibility means customers don't have to spend time and effort understanding standards and ecosystems or making sure X products works with Y hub. The products will connect and just work, we hope. For us, Matter is an important step in making smart homes simpler and more affordable, and therefore relevant to more people, he adds. So, as Brian said, good for small gifts. You want to pick up something affordable and smart for your home or for somebody as a gift? Sounds like it might be the right idea. Okay, now we'll move on to Nothing. Excitement for Nothing fans. Nothing 4A series coming in early March. Well, I put it as a question because it's still a rumor. Coming in early March. Got this on Phone Arena. And as I said, my main phone at work yesterday and that I used today was my Nothing Phone 3A Pro, which I guess you can see here. Yep. So, it's exciting to me. Like I said, on Phone Arena, here's when the Nothing Phone 4A series may be launching. The premiere of Nothing's new mid-range devices is coming very soon by Ilya Hemmelkov. And this was on February 3rd, so 4 days ago. Into review. At least I hope we're going. Okay, there we go. Things are a bit slow tonight, it would seem. While we've already been warned that Nothing doesn't plan to launch a sequel to the flagship Phone 3 this year, which I didn't pick up, I wasn't impressed by the Phone 3, especially at $800. We know there will be new mid-range devices. In fact, those may arrive very soon, and a new leak reveals the specific launch dates. Nothing may launch the Phone 4A series in March. Nothing is planning to launch a Nothing Phone 4A and 4A Pro in the beginning of March, according to a Twitter post by leaker Yogesh Brar. The company will premiere the devices on March 5th. So, like I said, not too long to wait, under a month. Both phones are getting a global launch, though there are no details about the specific availability. The Phone 3A and Phone 3A Pro also launched globally, but in the US they were only available through Nothing's US beta program. And that's how I got mine. But let me tell you, with the entire year that I've had the Nothing Phone 3A Pro and before that the Nothing Phone 2, no issues at all, whether it be a beta from England or not. It just worked like all my other phones. So I don't think that's even an issue. Improved storage and a price bump. Well, we're all expecting that. So there you can see there's the 3A Pro, and that's exactly what I'm carrying today. One of the highlights with the new devices will be the switch to faster storage, which the company has already confirmed. Instead of UFS 2.2 storage, the 4A series will use the UFS 3.1. That would be one of the likely reasons for a bump in the price of the phones. Well, we know chips are all costing more. Even though UFS, I have a hard time with that, 3.1 is not the latest or fastest available storage. Brar also points at a new design, which is probably part of what Nothing CEO Carl Pei said would be a complete evolution of the upcoming phones. I hope they keep the look, at least the look of the 3A Pro. Early leaks suggested that both models will feature Snapdragon 7 series chipsets, and Pi has promised upgrades to the display and cameras. And for a mid-range phone, the 3A Pro takes some pretty nice photos, I gotta tell you that. Another leak reveals that the phone 4A Pro will come with a 5,080 milliamp battery rated for 1,400 charge cycles. That's a slight increase from the 5,000 milliamp cell in the phone 3A Pro, which was also rated at 1,400 charging cycles. The charging speed won't be changed, and it will stay at 50 watts, which is plenty good and plenty fast. As Nothing doesn't plan to launch a flagship this year, the company will only compete on the very busy mid-range segment. Samsung is expected to launch the Galaxy A57 and A37. Apple is coming with the iPhone 17e, and Google should launch the Pixel 10a, which I think they're doing that right as we speak. And Google thinks I'm talking to it. Okay. That would certainly put pressure on Nothing's devices. Price or design? Where Nothing certainly stands out is the design of its devices, that's for sure. However, with the inevitable price hike for the upcoming devices, I'm not sure whether that would be enough. We'll need to wait and see how that will work for the company, though. So I'm kind of excited about that. So if you're a fan of Nothing phones like me, you're probably excited about it too. Okie dokie. There's nothing else new. Now, iOS 26.2.1 causing lots of issues. Hold off on updating. If you haven't already updated, as I said, I already have, I think 2 days before this article came out. Haven't had the issues though, thank goodness. So let's go take a look on Tom's Guide. So if you have an iPhone and don't have iOS 26.2.1 yet, probably hold off and let's wait and see what's going on. Don't update iOS 26.2.1 causing serious problems including crashes and freezes. By Scott Yonker, published February 4th, and all he said was, yikes. Yeah, there's a list of things here. Let's jump into read a view. Apple released iOS 26.2.1 for the public last week, but if you haven't updated yet, too late for me, you may want to hold off. A number of users are reporting that the latest iOS build is causing some serious issues, and they are serious. The update was meant to add support for the newly released AirTag 2 trackers and some bug fixes, But for some, it may have broken things. Reported issues run the gamut from crashing on freezing apps to battery drain and strange information reporting. According to Mac Observer, users across forums have listed a number. Yeah, I think they either wanted to say had listed a series of common complaints or a number of common complaints. They said both, including, and this is pretty serious stuff, Apple Maps losing saved places and favorites. Okay, not too bad. Face ID authentication gaps in third-party apps. Not good. Control Center and HomeKit triggers are not responding as expected. Irregular storage reporting followed by sudden spikes or drops. Apps crashing. That's real bad. Phone rebooting repeatedly. That's even worse. Slower or unstable device. And one of the girls in one of the enterprise offices I was talking to the other day sounds like she was having mostly these issues, but she had a iPhone 13, so she was blaming it on being in older phones. But bad news. Brian said, "Damn, mine's updated." Yep, he's got a point there. Okay. We found on the official Apple support forum several threads, including one about connectivity failure, or this one where a user described nearly issue listed above. One Reddit thread is titled OS 26.2.1 feels like a user experiment. The whole thing feels more like a user experiment than a stable operating system. It's a real shame, in my opinion. I regret updating to the new version, the original post I wrote. So I guess he's having issues. I've updated, and as far as I know, I haven't had any of these issues. So I guess it's sporadic. It's not clear how widespread this issue actually is. The Apple support threads are mostly shut down or coupled in with other general iOS 26 issues, so they haven't separated it out for the 2.1. And the Reddit threads aren't taking in huge numbers. Still, if you haven't updated, maybe hold off. I agree, especially since you can't downgrade if you are having problems with iOS 26.2.1. Thank God I'm not. Additionally, as Mac Observer notes, iOS 26.3 should arrive soon, which may fix any lingering issues. Yeah, that's true. With this most recent update. Currently, iOS 26.3 is in its public beta, which usually only lasts for a couple of weeks before the stable build is released. So yeah, if you haven't updated, I'd hold off until 0.3 is available. But just thought anybody who has an iPhone would probably want to know that, especially if they haven't updated as yet. So, another iPhone story. Got this on Times Guide also. Curious about the iPhone Fold? Here's more rumors. Yeah, we keep getting these stories every single day just about, but people are excited about it. I gather it's going to end up costing $2,400. So it's an Apple phone. You knew it was going to cost more than the Samsungs. Okay. iPhone Fold could look like an iPhone Air merged with an iPad mini with the biggest iPhone battery ever, written by Tom Pritchard 5 days ago. iPhone Fold leaks are coming in hot, that's for sure. Going to read a bit. It seems we can't turn around without running into some iPhone Fold specs leaking online. Following a major specs leak in the middle of last month, two fresh new leaks are shedding light on the kind of hardware we can expect from Apple's first foldable, including very good news about the battery life. A Weibo user known as Fixed Focus Digital claims that the upcoming foldable could feature a 5,500 milliamp battery. That's good. Not only would that make it the largest iPhone battery to date, dwarfing the 5,088 milliamp battery in the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it would also make it noticeably larger than rival foldables. For reference, the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold has a 5,015 milliamp battery, while the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is 4,400 milliamp. It's not the first time we've heard news about the iPhone Fold having such a large battery. Past rumors suggest we could be looking at anything between 5,000 milliamp and 5,500, which is where we think we are. But being able to put a more exact figure on at the top end, right there, uh, at that scale, however tenuous the leak might be, can only be a good thing. Considering Apple's flagships are known for their long lasting battery life, aided by the relationship between Apple's hardware and software, this can only be a good thing for the iPhone Fold. Sure, the folding screen will need more power by virtue of its large size, but the extra drain shouldn't be so much that a 5500 milliamp power cell doesn't last a very long time. So, overall, good news, as long as you're willing to pay for it, of course. All right, nothing else new. And since it's just me, you know it's going to be an early show, but that's okay. All right, down to my last story. Google's QuickShare AirDrop moving from Pixels to other Android devices soon. And when we did the original story, nobody knew when and if it was going to other phones except Pixels. Well, now we've got more information. So this was on Android Authority from February 5th. Google just confirmed what Android fans have been praying to hear about AirDrop sharing. Expect to hear about your Android getting AirDrop support very soon by Adamya Sharma. So let's drop it into reader view. When Google shocked everyone last year by making Android's QuickShare interoperable with Apple's AirDrop, yeah, and everybody was shocked. And it did work. I even showed you live when I gave you the story. The feature launched out of nowhere and has been limited to the Pixel 10 series ever since. At the time, Google stopped short of saying when it would reach the broader Android ecosystem, but behind the scenes, the signs were already there. Rather than tying AirDrop interoperability to a Pixel-only system component, Google enabled the functionality by upgrading the QuickShare extension from a system app stub into a full APK with its own Play Store listing. That move effectively made AirDrop interoperability a QuickShare feature, not just a Pixel app feature, signaling that the implementation would not remain tied to Pixel hardware for long. Now we have confirmation that QuickShare AirDrop interoperability is headed to other Android devices soon, not just older Pixel phones. Speaking during a press briefing I attended at Google's Taipei office during a Pixel Labs tour, Eric Kay, Vice President of Engineering for the Android platform, confirmed that AirDrop interoperability is set to expand well beyond Pixel phones this year. Last year, we launched AirDrop interoperability. In 2026, we're going to be expanding it to a lot more devices, Kay said. We spent a lot of time and energy to make sure that we could build something that was compatible not only with iPhone, but iPads and MacBooks. That's good. Now that we've proven it out, we're working with our partners to expand it into the rest of the ecosystem, and you should see some exciting announcements coming very soon. Very good news. While Google hasn't named specific or devices or partners yet, Kay's comments strongly suggest that QuickShare AirDrop interoperability will no longer be a Pixel exclusive feature for long. Instead, it's shaping up to become a broader Android capability, one that will directly target one of Apple's biggest lock-in advantages. Until now, nothing is the only company to confirm that it's working to bring the feature to its phone. However, Qualcomm also recently hinted that it's working to enable Pixel 10 style AirDrop support on Snapdragon-powered phones. Beyond file sharing, Case said that Google is doubling down on making Android easier to switch to for people coming from iPhones. We're also going to be working to make it easy for people to decide to switch to transfer their data and make sure they've got everything they had from their old phone, he added. So there's a lot more going on with that. Back in December, Google and Apple confirmed they were collaborating to make switching between Android and iOS devices more seamless. The companies are working on a new switching method that's expected to facilitate easier switching with expanded functionality, including support for transferring additional types of data. So, exciting stuff. So, we're making it easier and easier to go back and forth between Androids and iPhones. So, as usual, we're down to the spot where if you want some open discussion, now's the time, folks. See, Brian said the iPhone Fold will cost he's saying north of $3,000. That's kind of what I expected based on Apple being Apple and the Samsung's costing $2,000. And with the chips, all the chips have gone up in price. He's probably right. I saw an article somewhere this week that it was going to cost $2,400, but that may be based upon before all the chips got more expensive, but I'm not sure. But yeah, if the iPhone Fold costs $3,000, I won't be a bit surprised. Oh, and I won't be getting one either. So I still have my OnePlus open. I'm still happy with it. Brian said, "Nice. I'm looking forward to having it on my 9 Pro." Yeah, the interoperability between the AirDrop. So that's all I've got for tonight, folks. Thanks, Brian, for making it much more interesting. Thanks, Ted, for popping in. He's probably out and about in Dallas, but at least he did pop in and say hello to us. So that's all I've got for this week, folks. And just a reminder, next week, same thing, not Friday night, but Saturday night. So that'll be on the 14th, again at 9 p.m. After that, we go back to our normal schedule on Friday night. So thanks again for being here, and I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl tomorrow. If I'm watching, which I probably will, I will not be watching their halftime show. Other than that, I'm pulling for Seattle. Don't ask me why. I'm a Raider fan, so, but I'm pulling for Seattle. Anyway, I won't be unhappy no matter who wins. So I hope everybody enjoys that. I hope everybody has a very blessed week, and I will see you next week, and maybe with Ted or even Will if we're very blessed. So you guys have a blessed week, and let's all remember we all do better when we love each other. See you next week, folks.